everyone, a quick layout update and a few projects that I've been up to this week. So a company reached out to me, MDNDesigns, run by a chap called Mike, who's just kind of got going in the market, and they sent me a couple of these wagons just to have a look at and give my honest feedback on them, really. They didn't pay me to review them, they just sent them to me to have a look at, so honest feedback. But I'm going to have a go at putting these together and giving them a look over today, because I'm all for the like really high detailed expensive Cura scale wagons. I've got loads of those and they're absolutely unmatched, but it's cool to have a budget option as well, something. These are massively cheaper, fraction of the price. So if you wanted to create a rake, a value rate, then these are definitely an option worth considering. So I've got some N scale ones here and some 00 scale ones too. So there's a few bits to clip off, but you wouldn't really know that these are 3D printed, I'd say. I mean, there's barely any. Sometimes you have the print lines, like the mould lines along them, but you didn't really have any of that on these at all, which I was impressed with. Just a few little lines where the frame was. I'm just going to remove that with a file. But they're very sturdy and thick compared to some of the Pico kits that I've used before. And there's only a few parts to put together, so they're not particularly complicated, and they're quite robust when they are together. So it's just a matter of putting the ends on and then adding the buffers. The buffers are a bit gentle. I have to be a bit careful with them, to be honest, but they slot in really easily, and once they're in, they're pretty secure. So I've got an open wagon, coal wagon, this one, and then I got a box van and a milk van as well. They come with these nice metal wheels which just pop straight into the bearings on the chassis, and the three I got were very freewheeling, so I didn't know whether I'd get plastic wheels or not with them, but the metal wheels is a really nice touch. I've finished putting together the open wagon now, so I'm going to have a go with the milk tanker. Now this one was a bit more fiddly, not going to lie, because it's got, and I knocked one of the supports of the tank off there, but I'll glue that back on again later. But that was my fault for being particularly clumsy. But these are the three on the layout. They come with KD or NEM sockets with them with tension locks, so I just removed the tension locks and put the KD couplings in, which I usually use, and they're good to go. They're the N scale ones that are also nice, and the details on them is very fine given that they're 3D printed. I think for these you pay about £9 to £12, which, given that some wagons are pushing £30 these days, it's a nice budget option to have. So I'm going to, now I've made them, I'm going to paint these. So I'm just going to prime them red, which worked quite well for the box van, because I'm going for a BR bauxite and painting that one in. The other ones, I probably should have gone with black or grey or something, but I only had red to hand. But I painted the underframe black now as well, and then I'll just go over the body with that rail match bauxite colour, of which the fitted goods wagons were usually painted in. And then I've gone for grey for the other one. And then these wagons don't come with the transfers, but for about £3.50 you can buy a big pack of wagon transfers from the likes of Fox Transfers and Phoenix Precision and other companies that sell those. So I've gloss varnished the wagon, and then I'm going to put the transfers straight on and then apply a bit of matte varnish over the top, and then just disguise the edges of the transfer with a bit of weathering. So they're the transfers on. They went on really nicely, especially with the gloss varnish on there. And then I've just got the other ones to finish off. I bought some separate transfers for the milk tanker, but they make all the difference. I ended up painting the milk tanker blue because I've got another one, a United Dairies one, I think, a 3-wheeler that's blue. So that's on the other layout at the minute, so I haven't got it here to show, but it will match the other one, which I think will look quite good. Now with all the decals on, I just went about weathering these, so I didn't I'm just going to use rail match frame dirt. I'm just going to blast that all over the chassis, and then add a little bit of that to the tops and the raised areas of the wagons too. You can still see there's quite a lot of red paint from the undercoat on the underframe, but I left that on there, and I'm just going to airbrush the frame dirt over the top, so you won't even see it when I'm finished doing this. And then of course I'll give the wheels a bit of a clean with a cotton bud and isopropyl alcohol too, just so they run nice and smoothly on the track. But all in all, I was super impressed with these, given the price. And they don't just do, I mean, these are just 3 of the wagons they do other ones, but they make all sorts of model railway stuff like bridges, scenery items. They've got a massive catalogue on their website. Mike very kindly provided me with a discount code for 15% off everything on the online store, so I'll put that in the description if you're interested in picking anything up. These are the 3 finished wagons on the layout, ready to go. And I think if you look close at these, would you be able to tell these are not, high-end Bachmann wagons? I don't know, maybe, but I think they look really good to me. They're a lot better than some of the really old, Pico kit-built ones that I've done in the past, because they're 25, 30 years old in a lot of cases. I kept the gloss actually on the milk fan. I like the way that looks. I don't know how glossy they would have been in real life, but it looks cool with the dirt built up around the raised areas there and the ladder. I think I might get a few more of the milk vans and build a bit of a milk train. That might be something a bit different and something that I haven't got at the minute. And then I just need to add a little bit of coal, because I'll run that coal wagon in with my rake of empty coal wagons, I think, as they're already quite weighty already. So I'm just going to test them out and make sure the running characteristics of them are okay. So I'll just roll the old trusty WD austerity forward to then head back and pick them up. I saw some great shots of the new Ellis Clark WD that they're making, the 210 version of it, so a slightly bigger version than this, and it looks unbelievably good. Pricey, but it looks really good. But the old Bachmann one still holds up quite nicely. Anyway, these are running nicely. I'm going to reverse them back onto my main freight rake that I've got on the layout at the minute, just to test the sturdiness of the couplings and make sure that they can take the long rake behind them, but I think they'll be fine. They seem okay. Yeah, they're moving very well. So yeah, you can get maybe 3 or 4 of these for the price of one wagon from some of the main manufacturers. I'd probably recommend combining these in with your rakes of other wagons if you want to get the cost down. I mean, when I started, I was always trying to model on a budget, being budget conscious, because things can get quite expensive, especially if you're a student, that I was when I started at the time. You have to be careful. So these other options really are brilliant and really appreciated, I think. So definitely worth keeping an eye on MDNDesigns. But I think they look pretty good there behind the austerity, rolling into the station. There's it on the left next to a Bachmann wagon, just to give you the comparison between the two in terms of detail and scale as well. So I'll leave you with a shot of them rolling past. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed that, and definitely check out the website and just have a look. Again, I'm not being paid to make this video or anything. I'm just, sharing with you a cool product that I found and quite enjoy. So yeah, check it out for yourselves. That's all I've been up to in the last couple of weeks. I've been pretty busy really, but looking forward to getting back on with some other modelling projects pretty soon. So I'll leave you with these closing shots, and thanks very much for watching as always.